First to our top focus in this edition, a Thai governor has said today is the D-Day. Operation to rescue 12 boys and their coach who have been trapped in the cave there is underway. In fact, as many as 13 foreign divers and 5 Thai divers are taking part in that operation. According to officials, the diver went in at 10 a.m. local time, and the boys will gradually come out, accompanied by 2 divers each. The operation is likely to last for at least 24 hours, depending on the weather, during which the football team will cover 1.7 kilometers by swimming or diving from deep inside the cave to the third chamber, from where it is possible for them to walk. From the third chamber, the cave exit is about another 1.5 kilometers away. Military personnel, divers and rescue officials have gathered at the site. Ambulances are on standby and media personnel have been asked to vacate the rescue site. Meanwhile, a heavy downpour hit northern Thailand overnight, worsening the conditions around the cave.
มีวันใดที่เราพร้อมกว่านี้อีกแล้วนะครับถ้าเราไม่เริ่มปฏิบัติการณเวลาที่เราได้เปรียบที่สุดดีเดย์ในวันที่เราพร้อมที่สุดเราอาจจะเสียโอกาสวินโดว์ที่จะทำปฏิบัติการตรงนี้ไปเพราะฉะนั้นต้องขอปฏิบัติการตั้งแต่ 10 โมงวันนี้เป็นต้นไปนะครับแล้วก็ขอบคุณทุกท่านที่ให้ความร่วมมือที่ลำบากก็ออกมาตรงนี้เป็นอย่างดีนะครับแล้วก็ขอให้พวกเรานะครับที่อยู่ตรงนี้ขอให้พี่น้องที่อยู่ในทางบ้านทุกคนนะครับเอาใจช่วยการปฏิบัติงานของพวกเราด้วยนะครับส่งแรงใจให้น้องทั้ง13คนส่งแรงใจให้ทีมปฏิบัติการของพวกเราทุกคนประสบความสำเร็จอย่างที่พวกเราคาดหวังคำว่าประสบความสำเร็จหมายความว่า perfect 100% ขอกำลังใจจากพวกเราด้วยนะครับขอบพระคุณครับ
Meanwhile, the Thai Navy SEALs who have been spearheading the rescue operation have posted a picture on their Facebook page with a vow to bring back the trapped football team. And for more on this, let's go straight across to Anmar Mirza, National Coordinator of the United States National Cave Rescue Commission, joining us from the United States. Thanks very much, Anmar, for speaking with us. It has been a race against time, against harsh weather conditions. Today and over the next 24 hours is going to be crucial for that rescue operation. If you can take us through what the immediate challenges for the rescue personnel are going to be over the next few hours.
Well, of course, they have to get back into the cave to where the children are located. Once they get in, they have to get them suited up, geared up, and ready to go. And then they'll start bringing them out one by one. And they have several places in the cave that they're going to most likely, once they get them through some of the most challenging dive portions, they'll come and out of the water. They will have to traverse drier sections. Well, they're not dry, but they'll have to traverse sections of the cave that have air in them. And then they'll have to dive again. And these children are very weak, so it's a very challenging problem because these kids have got a lot of when they were starved for the 9 days, they just did not have the ability to have their strength, and so they now they're weak and they have never done this before. So it's incredible challenges.
Incredible challenges, certainly, and it's a jointly coordinated effort. As many as half a dozen countries have been pitching in their efforts over the last few weeks to ensure that no stone is left unturned. But Anmar, when it comes to pulling the boys out one by one, according to your estimate, how much time do you think it's going to take? Because earlier on it was said because of the narrow bends and the complex cave passageways, it could take months for the boys to be pulled out if such an operation was to be carried out, because earlier a number of other possibilities were also being considered, including drilling a hole and pumping out all the water from inside the cave. So this scenario that we're looking at, pulling out the boys one by one, how time consuming do you think it could be?
Well, the divers who are going in and out of there take approximately 5 hours to traverse from where the boys are to at the exit of the cave. And in that time period, these are healthy people who are moving very quickly. Of course, the boys, as I said earlier, they're fairly weak, and they're going to go slower because they're not familiar with the diving. So it could easily take at 7, 8, 9, 10, 12 hours per boy. Now they're not going to be waiting 12 hours in between. They'll start one, they'll get them through a section, then they'll start the next one. So we should start seeing them come out sometime in the next 5 or 6 hours, we hope.
And as far as the efforts that have been made by the rescue personnel over the last few days, they have been trying to teach the boys to dive and swim. As far as this effort is concerned now, over the next few hours, the boys might have to dive and swim. Is that a possibility that is being looked at?
That is exactly what they're going to be doing. They're going to have to dive these boys out through the places that are completely flooded, and they'll have to swim across the areas that have water but still have air in them. And some of the places where they'll have to dive are so tight that you have to take your equipment off to be able to fit through. So it's a very challenging operation, especially because the water itself is so dark that you can't see. So there's no visibility in the water at all. So you're basically working along a guideline that allows you to go through the cave. It's an incredible challenge, and there's no guarantee of 100% success here. I feel that there's a good chance of 100% success, but there certainly is no guarantee.
And none of the boys could dive or swim before they got stuck in that cave. They have been taught how to do so over the last few days, and they will have to do exactly that, as Anmar is saying. And before we let you go, Anmar, of course, the weather conditions have been another hurdle. There was a heavy downpour that was witnessed just last night in the northern parts of Thailand, pumping out the water from the cave. To what extent has that been a success so far?
Well, it's actually probably the reason that they decided to go ahead and try the diving solution. The conditions inside the cave were turning very bad. Before, there was thought that they might have been able to survive in the cave for several months if necessary. But if the water had come up even more than it was when it originally flooded, it would have made the area they were in, they would not have been able to be there. As a matter of fact, if they could not have gotten out, they would have drowned there, most likely. So the dive option became the only option that was really available. The pumping of the water down was very beneficial because it makes the dive shorter. It makes more places in the cave where they can walk through instead of having to swim through. The dives aren't as deep, and the current isn't as strong.
All right, we're going to leave it there for the moment. Anmar Mirza, thanks very much indeed for breaking down for our viewers what the next few hours are going to look like. It's a challenging mission, to say the least. Words cannot emphasize upon the importance and the challenge that the rescue personnel are going to be undertaking over the next few hours. Fingers crossed, of course, prayers have been pouring in from across the world. And we will wait and watch what the next few hours hold for those boys and the rescue personnel.